now. Oh boy, this stuff is they make this stuff more challenging than what it should be. It shouldn't be this hard just to start a string. They won't let you update the names and all the other junk. Uh, uh, but saying some things. I tell Dragon Ball communities is just they out of things to talk about. They talking about any and everything. Um, any and everything. First thing that comes to their mind, they ready to they jump on it. Like I said, that movie was garbage, but they still trying to milk it. I guess there's a few of them I wanted to go over. A couple of them anyway. I just wanted to go over one or two of them. It's just you could tell they just running out of stuff.
It is Halloween. Give us something to scream about.
I don't care.
So melodies, psychedelic.
It's been a quiet day in the Dragon Ball community. Hype for Dragon Ball Super Superhero has completely died down, and
It never started to begin with. It also the movie wasn't even that promoted because everything it sucked. The movie sucked. This Black Frieza thing was terrible. What they've done to Dragon Ball, like I keep saying, is just pure awful. There was no hype ever because the movie they didn't even promote the movie. They didn't even believe in their own movie. They didn't even believe in it. It was so bad. And there's no hype. There was never any hype. The only hype that existed was the Dragon Ball content creators hyping it up. There was no hype from the actual community itself.
the Dragon Ball Super manga is on a small hiatus until it
It's only they don't even know when they're coming back. So I don't know.
returns, I believe, in December or January. So can you imagine my
We don't know when it's coming back.
surprise when I got on Twitter and I see that Cell Max is trending? What new information came out? Why is he trending?
On Twitter, a site that no one really cares about. Okay.
Well, in today's video, that is exactly what I'm going to dive deep into. Why Cell Max is trending and what this means for the larger Dragon Ball world. Also, if you
It doesn't mean anything. It's not going to go anywhere because no one cares about Twitter. It's just a inferior social media platform that people use. I guess the only people that really care about it that when you post are celebrities. They follow celebrities. That's the only posts that get big on there are celebrities and other people like that. Other than that, no one really cares about Twitter.
didn't know, Goku vs. Saitama Part 3, Dragon Ball fan animation dropped a couple days ago. I'm going to leave a link to it in the description below in the top comment. Go ahead and check out the review. Going through the trending
No.
tab, I see different artwork for Cell Max, different images and tweets all about Cell Max.
Yeah. I guess that's just people that are fans of him and want to see how he turned out when he's grown but are fully matured. No one cares. And I think NBA was looking for a perfect form for it to describe Cell and his state. Like I always use test tube baby. Test tube baby. Okay? He was this delayed developmental version of Cell. They took Cell and they ruined who he really was. He was a great villain and they ruined him. And look, this ain't something I would watch. I watched the movie just so I can give a decent review. I really had no interest whatsoever in watching the movie because it looked pathetic. Was pitiful. It was a sorry excuse. They tried to save and on animation, they tried to save on voice characters, and it was just a sorry attempt at a movie. It was just completely inexcusable. All the movies in Dragon Ball previous were better. Because Dragon Ball Super Broly was good. I don't like what they did with him, with the character Broly, but the movie was way better. I don't know how. It's like they tried to save money and it sucked. Yeah, it sucked. So I mean, I'm just saying.
He's talking about his characteristics, how he was in the movie, what his
What characteristics? Let's see. What would have happened if Cell Max had the perfect body? No one cares. Well, here's a recreation of me with the FZ model. Hope you like it. No, I don't like it.
his power could possibly be. There's some funny memes about
We don't really care because the movie was trash, and it just destroyed all hope that a lot of people had in the Dragon Ball community. A lot of people aren't. They can't even really. It just destroyed it. They're going downhill. They're getting worse and worse and worse and worse. And yeah, and I'm almost to the point where I'm tired of talking about how bad it is. I'm probably gonna start talking about other things, like when the new Bleach comes out, when Bleach comes back. Start probably moving on to different topics after this because um, I'm still gonna do character ruin sequences. This is going on my T Dubs Entertainment thing, by the way. But yeah, but it's just getting harder and harder to keep saying how bad it is because everyone knows at this point or should know. Even the ones hyping it up know how horrible this stuff is.
Cell Max, even a manga, little mini manga here, talking about what if Dr. Hito continued his work and created like a good version of Cell Max. I'm assuming
A good version of Cell Max. Why would we want Cell to be good? Why are they all? Why are they trying to? Why is everyone trying to turn Dragon Ball villains into good people? I don't want Frieza to be good. I don't want him doing community service. I don't want Cell handing out sneaker bars for the Boy Scouts. I just don't want those things. I don't want villains to be good. It's supposed to be a show with people with heroes, not heroes or fighters, I guess, saving the day and killing villains, killing bad guys. I don't want a show where all the villains are passing out Boy Scout cookies. It's just not something that I would want to watch. I mean, I'm not understanding why we're trying to. Why is what's all this snowflake stuff, man? This soccer mom snowflake generation. We want all these people to be good. What if Cell was good? I don't care. I wouldn't watch it because it would suck. It'd be cringy.
while working under Bulma. Very interesting stuff. But as I dove deeper down the rabbit hole, I find this tweet by a creator called Kakiru on Twitter, and it is a rendition of Cell Max coming out of his bubble, but instead of looking like he was in his semi-perfect state, this is a rendition of him looking like he was in his final perfect stage.
It looks bad. It's not anything to be hyped about. It's not any, I don't know why this is trending. I don't know why this is being so hyped up. I don't know why see y'all, I can tell y'all, the community, y'all run out of stuff to talk about. If this is trending, y'all are all dried up. Y'all are all washed up, guys. Y'all might as well hang it up. Y'all might as well try to find another anime to talk about. If this is trending, if this is the hype, y'all might as well hang it up. Y'all might just find something else to talk about.
Basically the Cell that we all know and love. And no wonder this was trending with over...
No wonder it was trending. It's not trending. It's just not. No one cares about this. No one even thought about this until you brought it up, dude.
44,000 likes. This is really premium stuff.
44,000. That's nothing. It's really nothing, dude.
And as I look through the tweet, I see that Seth the programmer actually commented on this tweet. Would have been peak fiction. And now it all makes sense. Now,
how would it all make sense now because some other YouTube creator commented on it? What would make sense about it? Why would it make any kind of sense? I'm not understanding why all of a sudden all the pieces are coming together. Well, there weren't even any pieces to begin with. Everything about this is garbage. Everything about Cell Max was trash. The whole movie sucked. The concept sucked. The fact that them trying to bring Cell back being unoriginal, it is unoriginal garbage. They should have left Cell dead. They should have stopped trying to bring him back. It's just that none of this makes any sense. None of it it's not all making sense. It's not all coming together. It's really not. I'm just as confused as I am now as I was when I first turned on this video. So, no, it's not making sense.
all the pieces are melding together.
No, there aren't. There aren't any pieces. There's no hype. And we really don't care about this.
So there it is.
This tweet was on September 11th, and on September 20th, Seth the programmer
And this. I might go over that video too. But, oh well.
comes out with this video, How Strong is Perfect Cell Max? This video perfectly outlines exactly the outrageous power Cell Max.
One of the guys probably told him, probably something Toriyama said. It probably wasn't that video. He probably said something in the video that Toriyama said. And you could just go check it out if you wanted to know. You wouldn't have to watch the video to find out.
If he was perfected, if he had a brain, would possess. And it's all literally told to us by Akira Toriyama.
I mean, I guess.
Toriyama says that Cell Max, if he was perfected, if he was completed, would be stronger than Broly. This
exactly. So you wouldn't have to watch Seth the programmer's video to find out how strong Perfect Cell would be. You wouldn't need to.
graph right here basically perfectly embodies exactly what we're talking about here. You see that Broly is stronger at this point with Cell Max with no mind, and Goku, Piccolo, Orange Piccolo, everybody else is below that Cell Max because Gohan even says they would have had problems with them. And you saw that Piccolo absolutely did, and Piccolo is basically at the same level as Ultra.
By the way, if this wasn't stated by, if these power levels weren't stated by Toriyama or Toritaro or anyone in the community, like as far as the people that write it, it's invalid. So I'm not going to believe it until I have an official source from Toriyama or Toritaro or somebody that actually writes the manga.
Instinct Goku. This graph basically makes sense, except for the very ending where you see Cell Max with a mind and Beast Gohan. I do think that this should be separate. The Beast Gohan should be right underneath Cell Max with a mind, because we know that.
That's just what you think, but it's not. It doesn't mean it's because it's something you believe. Don't mean it's something it should be.
Beast Gohan right now is the most powerful character in the Dragon Ball Super anime. We don't know if the
anime ain't even. Well, the anime, if you want to, I gotta tell you something. The anime ended with a tournament of power, so he can't be the strongest in the anime. The anime hadn't even been thought of. This Beast Gohan hasn't even been. If this took place after Dragon Ball Super Broly, which also is not, it's not in the anime. Those are movie. These are just movie characters. And it's not the same, because Dragon Ball Super Broly, Dragon Ball Super Broly, that origin, it's in that same timeline. That origin was Dragon Ball minus and all that stuff. That's Goku's origin in the minus, because Goku's origin in Z is different from Goku's origin in these movies. So there are two different what is it called? Two different continuities. The Beast Gohan and it's different from the anime. They're not the same continuity, because they say it was after the Moro arc and all of that stuff. The Moro arc hasn't happened in the anime. The anime ended the continuity. That continuity ended with the Tournament of Power. So he can't be the strongest in the anime because he hasn't even came close to this yet. There was a time skipping everything in this movie. They were grown. Goten and Trunks were adults. So as far as him being the strongest in the anime, it's not possible, because he might be the strongest when it comes to movies, in the movie spectrum, in the movie continuity, because the movie continuity is a little different. Movie continuity is a little different. They had this timeline has a origin. Goku has an origin of Dragon Ball minus. It came straight out of Dragon Ball minus into Dragon Ball Super Broly. But like I said, Dragon Ball Z, the Super anime was it pulled from Dragon Ball Z. It's just a little time gap in between the Kid Buu saga and the end of Z. So the anime was based off Z. These actual movies, I don't know what time frame the Super manga took, because they're different continuities. It's like different things happen in Z. You got the Dragon Ball manga, then you had Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball anime. It happened. Those things happened different in the anime than they did in the manga, because they were two different continuities. That's what Toriyama and them said. There are two different continuities. So that's why a lot of things happen differently. So just like Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, a lot of those games were based off the manga. That's why it looked different from the actual anime. But again, this is he can't be the strongest in the anime if the anime stopped at Tournament of Power. Until we catch things up, if it decides to be animated, if they're able, probably not. It's probably not going to happen. I'm not going to get anybody's hopes up because a lot of people, oh, it's coming back in 2019. It's coming back in 2020. It's coming back into. Get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready. Your blessing is on the way. It's not coming, guys. I believe when I see it, and they probably aren't even able to bring it back because the manga sucks so bad that probably can't bring it back. So he's not the strongest in the anime because the anime stopped a long time ago. The anime stopped years ago. So I mean, so that's how I know we're running out of stuff. We're running out of steam here.
Anime 100% will come.
Not hating you, but I'm just a little critique there to show you that uh yeah, that statement is inaccurate. I don't have any problem with Blackscape at all, but they say the community, they say things that are kind of inaccurate, and I don't want people to get in the wrong idea about Dragon Ball and all that stuff.
Combined with the manga, we don't know if we're going to get 100% the granola characters or the Moro characters in the anime, but as of right now, as two separate things, Beast Gohan is the most powerful, but if Cell
No,
Max
he's
had a
not.
mind, if Cell Max was the way that he's depicted in Kakuru's artwork, how strong would he possibly be? I'm going to show you a clip from Seth the Programmer's video that really perfectly outlines to me how powerful this monster would be.
But yeah, every Cell Jr. was equal to the Cell that fought Super Saiyan 1 Gohan, bare minimum. If Cell Max is stronger than Broly and has the same abilities, which there's no reason he shouldn't, he should be able to basically out a bunch of Cell Juniors that could all bully him by themselves.
Have you seen? Question. Did you look at Cell Max's tail? Look at Cell Max's tail. Let me show you how his tail looks. Just to show you. Not that Cell Max. Not this cell. I don't think this cell's the right one. Wrong cell. Maybe that'll pull it up. Why are they still pulling up regular cell? Maybe because that's the only one that should have existed in the first place. That's how bad this character is. They don't even have any pictures of him. That's how bad the character is. But they don't even have a picture of him. That's how bad. That's how bad it is. That's how bad the movie is. They don't even have a picture of the man. They just completely. You pull up. That's how terrible it is, guys. You Google Cell Max and all you see is pictures of the regular Cell. You can't even find him in Google. That's how horrible it is. You can't even find him. Watch this. You can't even pull him up in Google. Guys, that's how bad it is. You can't even pull them up in Google. Okay, I'm just telling you. I'm just showing you how bad it is. He's not. How is he trending if he's not? You can't even Google him. You can't even Google the man. You can't even Google him. I mean, they pull up the old stuff. I'm just showing you how bad it is. They put up Hachiak and all kind of other villains that aren't even Cell. They put up the regular Cell. They put up the cells. I mean, I'm just saying, guys. But his tail is closed off. There's no way he can absorb anything or anybody, or he can can't nothing come in, can't nothing come out. Um, so I was trying to show it made no sense for him to spit out Cell Juniors because of the way his tail is designed. But you can't even pull up a picture of Cell Max, guys. You can't even pull up his picture. It's not trending.
Elves, multiple above Broly level giant red Cell Juniors. Imagine as well if Cell picked up fusion from watching Gogeta versus Broly with Hito's drones, like he did with every other technique the original did in original Dragon Ball Z. And yeah, Cell Max was probably dummy nerfed for a reason.
A perfect Cell Max would be literally the strongest character in all of Dragon Ball because Cell Max is stronger than Broly. He has the data not only of Cell, but everything that has gone on planet Earth since that moment. If Cell Max had a mind, he would have access to so many different abilities that honestly he would be completely broken. And it honestly answers the question why he was nerfed so greatly in Dragon Ball Super Superhero and why they took away his mind, why they released him early, and why he
Because they sucked. They didn't want to go back.
since that moment. If Cell Max had a mind, he would have access to so many different abilities that
And probably not. Probably, yeah, he would, but they wanted to save money. They did. They just trying to save money. They didn't want to hire a real voice actor to really do that part, and they half-tailed it in the movie. Everything was just halfway done, half done. They didn't want to put in any effort. You could tell by the way they animated it.
that honestly he would be completely broken, and it honestly answers the question why he was nerfed so
He was nerfed because they didn't know what they were doing. They could have written him. None of this makes sense. They could have written him better. He could have been a perfect version of Cell and not all that powerful. He didn't have to be nerfed because Super Perfect Cell, the Gohan now, even before he unlocked that beast crap, the Ultimate Gohan would have still thrashed him. So you could write a Cell to where it's not just incredibly overpowered. They just did it like this to be. They didn't know what they were doing. That's what you call bad writing. That's what bad writing is. You don't have to nerf someone. Well, we nerfed him because he would be too overpowered. How about you write him to where he's not overpowered? Okay? We're not accepting that excuse. We're not accepting these excuses. If you have to explain these things away, oh, he was like this because of this, and scientifically research proves it. Shut up. They just can't write. They don't know how to write a proper story. Because every other anime out there can write stories to where the villain is extremely overpowered. We have to nerf him because how come every other anime you don't have to explain it? You just watch it and understand it. But with Dragon Ball, you have to explain it. Oh, they did this because of this, and the square root of 55 times 8 over 7 times 10 plus to the second power. You don't have to explain Yu Yu Hakusho. You don't have to explain Trigun. You don't have to explain Cowboy Bebop. You don't have to explain Inuyasha. I could watch those shows and understand what's going on. I don't have to explain. I don't have to. There's no Wind Scar explain videos out here on the internet. There's no Spirit Gun explain videos out here on the internet. There are no. You don't have to explain Trigun. You don't have to explain that stuff. It doesn't have to be explained because you can watch it and get it. It just makes sense. You don't have to explain the Romy Kenshin. You don't. You don't have to explain that stuff. Those things run miles around Super. All of a sudden, when it comes to you didn't have to explain Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z. I knew When they described the Kamehameha, I knew what it was. When they the Big Bang attack, I mean Super Saiyan. We knew what Super Saiyan was because it was done right. We didn't. Only time you have to explain things is when you get to Super. Now you have to explain everything because nothing makes any sense. Everything's just all over the place. Now you have to explain Cell Max. You have to explain his power. How strong would he have been? How strong would he have been if they just wrote the darn thing right?
So greatly in Dragon Ball Super Superhero and why they took away his mind, why they
Because the movie sucked. They took away his mind because they didn't want to hire a decent voice actor.
released him early. And
They released him early because they tried to cram something that probably should have been a miniseries into a freaking movie, and it just sucked. And they failed miserably at it
why he basically was a raging monster, because with a
because like I said, they didn't want to hire a decent voice actor, and they didn't know how to write a decent story. They don't even know how to write basic villains anymore. They don't even know how to write villains. They got people in there in the community that can't on staff that can't even write.
mind with this concept, he would be
They can do One Piece and all these other crazy things, but they can't write a decent Dragon Ball story.
way too powerful to stop. None of the Saiyans could have stopped him. Nobody could have destroyed him. He would just be too insane. Set the program
Or they could write him to where he's not too insane, to where Gohan. They could have wrote the story the same way where Beast Gohan saved the day, and without him being a raging monster. There's that. They could have made the perfect Cell version just as strong as Cell Max was. No one has anything to say about that. We're just gonna try to explain this bullcrap. We're still gonna keep trying to justify it. This sucky writing, this garbage writing, instead of just saying, "Hey, look, this was unacceptable. This movie was crap, and we need to do better." We're not gonna say that. No, we're just gonna try to explain it. Okay.
programmer does state that it could be a possibility, like say that if Cell Max ended up eating the androids, Gamma 1 and Gamma 2, what if that happened? Would he get into that perfect look that we've seen from Perfect Cell? Personally, for me, I don't think that the Gammas were ever integrated or meant to be integrated into Cell Max, because Dr. Hito says that he could have made an army of Gammas. I think it's far more believable that in mid transformation, in mid evolution, that's what we got. This is the Cell Max that we got, because he is
Because they didn't want to. They were just lazy and not wanting to really pour into a decent story. You could tell, again, by how it was animated, by how it was written. Everything looked like it was like Dragon Ball Xenoverse or something. You could just tell that no real good, no hard work was poured into this movie whatsoever. Anyone could have drawn this. Anyone could have done this movie. Could have animated it the way they did. The effort they put into it, anyone could have done it.
in the middle of morphing. Once he has his mind and he's complete, he probably looks like the Cell that we would want to see, Final Cell. And at that point, more likely he'd be a lot smaller, not that much smaller, not human size, but probably maybe 10 foot to 15.
That tail right there. Does he look like he can absorb a gamma with that tail? 'Cause that's the kind of tail he had. He can't absorb anything with that. He can't spew out Cell Juniors. He don't look like he can create a Cell Junior. Can he absorb? He couldn't absorb anything. He couldn't create anything. He couldn't create a Cell Junior. He couldn't. So it was like he could the program was like he could spit out Cell Juniors that are just as strong. No, he couldn't. It's not possible. He couldn't regenerate. He couldn't do any of that.
15 feet instead of being like a huge gargantuan monster. And he would be really smart. He would know everything. He would know all techniques and abilities, and he really would have no weaknesses.
And he would still suck. He had a weakness. He couldn't regenerate. And he still sucked.
This would be a monster. Anyway, guys, let me know in the comments below what you guys think. This is going to be
This movie sucks. This video is subpar. That's what I think, guys. That's exactly what I think. It's subpar. Somebody else I had to talk about. Because, like I said, this community is just running out of stuff. Really just running out of things. Let's see. Let's go to our old pal, old buddy.
As soon
old
as I
pal
clicked
here.
on some of these melodies, I got some ideas for beats. It's like that
I just
easy.
had to.
Let's listen to some of
I
these.
just really had. I don't want to listen
On
to that.
this video, let's look at all the clues and what could be coming down the pipeline of Dragon Ball Super and Vegeta's ultimate evolution into.
Yeah, I've stopped caring about Dragon Ball. I don't want to do this. No, I've stopped caring about Dragon Ball and transformations. I don't know why we're still hyping up about transformations. I don't know why we're still jizzing up about this stuff. It's just not. I'm not excited about where Vegeta's going to take this form. I don't care about it. I'm pretty sure a lot of people feel the same way. I'm not. I'm not hyped up about any more transformations. I'm just sick of it. I'm sick of them just giving people transformations. I'm sick of I'm just sick of it, man.
To really, really becoming godlike.
He's still gonna get whooped. Okay. He's had God key for years, and it hadn't changed anything.
This video is sponsored by Keeps. Get real results with
I gotta pass
affordable
this.
pricing, contact-free delivery. /geekdom. www.keeps.com.
I don't care.
17.
I don't care.
Dragon Ball Super episodes 109 and 110 aired consecutively on Fuji TV, and we got our first look in the anime of Ultra Instinct, which at the time was actually.
It should have stayed like this, honestly, because there's no transformation involved. It was just technique. It should have stayed this way. Shouldn't have gone all that the white hair and all this other stuff, because, like I said, transformations just make everything worse. It's just hype. It's just kid stuff now. It's no longer for adults. It's just all kid crap. Only people like it is 5 and 6 year old kids.
Omen.
My son didn't even care about this crap.
But we did not know. Since then, we've had multiple variations on UI depending on what arc we're in and the progression of Goku's.
No one cares. It all sucks because all of it was worthless in the end. He still got whooped and then got one shot by Frieza. So it didn't amount to anything at all. It's just no. If it never, it doesn't, it hadn't, it's never beat anybody. So why do we care?
Story. We've seen perfected / mastered Ultra Instinct, which is Goku with the silver hair.
He was mastered Ultra Instinct, but at the end of that arc, he couldn't do it anymore. And then it was mastered Ultra Instinct, but he didn't know how to use it. Is that who is that mastered? I'm a master of martial arts, but I don't know how to do a roundhouse kick. I mean, I'm not understanding. If you master something, that means you've perfected it, and there's nothing left for you to learn when it comes to that. He mastered the Ultra Instinct in the Tournament of Power, but after the Tournament of Power, he didn't know how to use the form all of a sudden. He didn't even know. He was just Whis, and even when he learned it after the Moral arc, Whis just told him he was at the beginning. You still have you've yet to discover the. Oh, shut up. He still ain't mastered it. Then we talking about the true mastery of Ultra Instinct is in your base form. It's just a bunch of bull crap. They hype it up, and then once he gets to where they hyped it up at, they raise it again. It's just boring crap. It's like somebody holding something in front of you. Just holding something in front of you. You know, all you gotta do is get it. Just reach it. Just grab it. Just grab it. Just grab it. As soon as you reach it, all you gotta do is get it. I'm there. All you gotta do, no. Oh, it's just that's what they're doing with us in Dragon Ball, guys. That's what they're doing with us. You're almost there. You just grab it, and they keep moving. They keep moving it. They keep moving it over and over. We're never gonna get anywhere with this stuff. It's just gonna be a hype train, an endless hype train to get your money, to sell more toys, to sell more movie tickets. It's just a hype train. It's nothing. It's just a never ending. It's just never ending. And it all sucks. It's getting worse and worse. The more they write, the longer they do this, the worse it gets.
Then we finally have the version that Goku can use, which is the silver-haired form at will during the Moral arc, so he knows how to tap into that power.
And it still sucks, because he still couldn't beat Moro by himself. Well, he could, but, they wrote it to where he gave Moro a sensu bean instead of finishing him off. So he absorbed the planet, and he still had to have help. Which was just plain idiotic.
Without having to trigger anything internally. Then, in the Granola arc, we are introduced to the concept that the Ultra Instinct properties can be used in previous Dragon Ball forms, like the God forms, Super Saiyan God in Blue. And the goal, obviously, based on what we said, is for Goku to eventually achieve Ultra Instinct in base to where it's always turned on. But what about Ultra Ego? The Granola arc introduced us to Ultra Ego. But
Why did we talk about Ultra Instinct first when the whole video was supposed to be about Ultra Ego? What was the point? What was the point in all that? Was it because you're trying to pad the video out to past 10 minutes or whatever? I don't understand. The video was supposed to be about Vegeta. What did Goku and never mind.
have we really seen Ultra Ego's full power? Based on clues that were given to us in previous Dragon Ball Super manga chapters and in arcs, Vegeta admits that during the fight with Granola that he failed Beerus. Now what he meant by this is that he was unable to fully utilize Ultra Ego. When he tried to do it, he couldn't because
He just got the form, so how was it? Why was it expected for him to perfect it when he just got the form? Hold on.
he couldn't follow what Beerus explained to him, which is that to become a god of destruction, to really use that power, you have to let go of all your guilt. Vegeta, being somebody who at one time was a serial killer, was a genocidal maniac, it's hard for him to do that because he's changed so much. We've discussed in the past how Bulma and Trunks and Kakarot all had a very big impact on Vegeta's change in Dragon Ball Z. And that would, of course, continue into Dragon Ball Super when he had a daughter and he was able to work alongside Goku more often than before. Without question, Vegeta is a different person than he used to be. Vegeta used to be a guy who didn't really care about life. Vegeta used to be a guy who was so prideful of this weird numerical equation that he got when he was born.
Oh man, I'm about to take a nap, guys. Wake me up when the video's over. This is what we have to look up. This is the content in the community. I used to love this content. I used to love it. This stuff is just, I guess, guys. This is what we have to watch in the community.
That he was supposed to be the strongest on the planet, and of course the fact that he is.
By the way, the Saiyan heritage has nothing to do with Ultra Ego. Any race can get Ultra Ego. Any race can get the destruction thing, because Topo had it, guys. Topo had the destruction form. So any race can unlock the God of Destruction key. So it's just not just it's not rooted in the Saiyan heritage. Any race can do this. So I'm not understanding, just like Ultra Instinct. Any race can have Ultra Instinct. Anyone, because all the gods of destruction were trying to get it. All the angels have it. Anybody can unlock it. Krillin can get it if he worked hard enough. Anyone can get Ultra Ego. So it's just not but they should have called it God of Destruction, Vegeta or something, because I mean, it just makes sense instead of Ultra Ego, because it's just dumb. I don't know what all these weird names and stuff. It's all weird and dumb, and I hate that they've done this to the anime.
Of the bloodline of the ruling monarchy of planet Vegeta.
Has nothing to do with God of Destruction.
He thought that he was above everyone until he met Kakarot, who gave him a hell of a challenge, a hell of a fight, and realized that even low-class warriors with proper training and discipline could overcome their low power level at birth. But for a long time, Vegeta did not care. And Beerus' role as God of Destruction is sort of like that, but not exactly.
No, it's not at all like that. Beerus destroys planets that don't reach a certain mortal level, or that's not to his like what Beerus does. This is what Beerus does as far as his job goes. He goes to different planets and tries different foods. If he don't like the food, he'll destroy it. He did that at the beginning of Super. Uh, he'll destroy the planet. They have to eat food to his liking. But usually it's dealing with mortal levels and all this other stuff. If they're not, just like with Zamasu and Goku Black, or the Goku Black arc, how Zamasu said he wanted to kill, he wanted to eliminate that planet because they were like cavemen, act like barbarians, and I think it was like 1,000 years into the future or 10,000 years into the future. One of those, they went way into the future, and they were still doing the same thing. He wanted to eliminate that planet, and Goasu was saying that's not our place. That's the work of God. Gods of destruction. They do that. They're the ones that carry out destruction. Uh, so what Vegeta was doing, he was just conquering planets and selling them to Frieza. That's all he was doing. So there are a lot of yeah. The Saiyans kind of did the grunt work for because even if you want to go by the fact that Beerus ordered the planet Vegeta's destruction, uh, basically the Saiyans did Beerus's bidding. They were the grunt work. They were the grunt workers. That's all that was. And he kept Frieza around because Frieza kept balancing the universe. He destroyed some planets. He sold some planets. He bought some planets. He turned it into a business. So Frieza kind of kept balance. That's why he kept Frieza around. But he didn't like Frieza towards the end, and he was going to kill him when he woke up. He was going to have Frieza destroyed, and because he was, he didn't like him. King Cold knew about Beerus and had respect for Beerus, and he used, he was in. They were basically in business together. He did as he told. He told Frieza to stay away from Beerus and all that stuff. These two people you should stay away from, Frieza and Majin Buu, and you know. You could rule over. They had the whole planet trade thing, but that kept balancing that actually kept a lot of balance in the universe because planets were, destroyed or left alone or whatever. So Beerus kind of just let them do what they wanted because that means that he didn't have to do anything. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of different professions in there.
Beerus has to destroy as part of his job, but what he has to do is he has to figure out a way to mentally block his guilt, to emotionally control himself.
He let Frieza and the Saiyans do it while he slept for decades. He basically let Frieza do his dirty work for him. But Beerus has no issue destroying planets, as you can see. He almost destroyed the Earth, but it had such good food he couldn't do it because he had no problems doing it. He destroyed a planet because the food wasn't good enough. He took his fingernail and tapped the table and blew the planet in half because it wasn't good. The food wasn't good enough. He has no issue doing it. So he was lazy, so he let Frieza do his dirty work.
Knowing that when Beerus blows something up, whether it be a planet or a solar system, he knows that there were living people on there that are going to die, but it's just part of the job.
Grammarly makes communication at work one click simpler. Whether you're looking for a new...
Vegeta has to get back.
They don't exactly die, they cease to exist.
Back into that mindset because the previous Vegeta, while he was destroying a lot of civilizations, he didn't feel any guilt for the people that died. Beerus wants Vegeta to go back into that place again, but instead of doing it in a malicious, evil way, it's more so a way to block out your guilt. And that is why Vegeta wasn't able to really use Ultra Ego. Now, I did a couple videos that you must check out.
Ultra Ego explained. It was just it was just like Toppo's form in the Tournament of Power. There's no real difference. He says he gets stronger as he gets hit, but that's just a dumb explanation, really, to me, because I'm not understanding how if he got stronger, the more he got hit, how come he got beat up so easily? How come he got beat up multiple times? I just don't understand that either. How come he didn't beat Granola? How come he didn't get back up and challenge Frieza again? I'm just not really. It doesn't really pan out to be what it says it is. And like I said, it should have been something similar to God of Destruction Toppo. But like I said, I'm still tired of transformations. But if they're gonna do it, just call it God of Destruction Vegeta or something. Just call it the God of Destruction form or something. Just don't Don't Ultra Ego try to mimic Goku's form, and it's really weird what Dragon Ball is doing. I don't like it.
Out to get a fully deeper understanding of what's going on. There's a video on the channel called Ultra Ego Vegeta Explained. It just hit 1 million views a little while ago, and I want to thank everyone who watched it because you did help out with the views of that video.
Man,
it means a lot to me, and that video I'm very proud of because we really broke down Vegeta's life, his arc, and how Ultra Ego was fitting for him.
We already know his life, his arc, and all of that. If you watch Dragon Ball Z, you'll know his life and his arc. We didn't need the video to break it down for that.
In addition to that, I also did a video where I compared Ultra Ego Vegeta to God of Destruction Toppo from the Tournament of Power. Now you have to remember that the manga and the
they're the same.
Anime of Dragon Ball Super are two different continuities. They have the same stories in a general sense, but there are small details, sometimes even big details, that make the manga differ from the anime. For example, we didn't really see Toppo utilize that God of Destruction form with the way it looked in the manga.
Because first, this is what I'm saying. I guess, yeah, it's two different continuities. But it's like he scolded Toppo for forsaking who he was to become a God of Destruction and take on this key. And then Vegeta turns around and does it in the fight against Granola. And he's not really the type to destroy anymore. He used to be, but that's not who he really is. Dragon Ball is kind of weird, I guess. It's the way a lot of things are contradicting.
That was something the anime staff chose to do, and it's something that they worked on. It wasn't really a Toriyama concept. Well, it makes you wonder, though, what's up with that? What's up with Toppo having that power? And I did do that video that I mentioned discussing Vegeta and Toppo and comparing, contrasting, but it really does seem like Ultra Ego, the version that we saw against Granola in the Granola arc, might not be the final version. Obviously,
I really don't care if it is or not. It's just, it sucks. When he unlocked the farm, the first thing he did was get whooped.
One of the things that's been a crutch in Dragon Ball Super's writing is trying to figure out new goals for Goku and Vegeta. Toyotaro himself admitted during an interview on the official Dragon Ball site that he had problems writing Goku because Goku had already been made so perfect. And what he meant by that is it was clear as day that by the end of the Moral arc for sure, Goku knew how to tap into silver-haired Ultra Instinct at will. And thus, no other form could really come after it because Ultra Instinct is the peak of power based on everything we've heard. Ultra Instinct is a power that not even mortals should have. It's an angelic technique, an angelic form that is. Either way, whatever you want to call it, technique of transformation, it's a state of being. And so because of that, he had...
It's angelic, but Beerus was trying to learn. They were trying to teach it to Beerus, and it's not just for because I guess, man. But then how come in the manga Beerus knew Ultra Instinct? If it's just for angels, how come Beerus knew it in the manga? How come he used it against the other guys of destruction when they had the preliminaries exhibition before the Tournament of Power? Beerus used Ultra Instinct in the manga. So it's not really just for angels because Beerus was able to do it, he just couldn't master it. So that's I mean, like I said, I ain't hating you, but it's just some things that I can point out that I know by watching it because Beerus was trying to learn Ultra Instinct too. You know, and I stated because it was shown, it was told by Whis that he could learn it. Beerus actually could learn it. and Beerus was trying to teach them Ultra Instinct, self-movement. So it's not, even though it's an angelic technique, anyone can learn it.
Had trouble figuring out what to do with Goku after that, but eventually that would lead us into the true Ultra Instinct debacle, which I personally have discussed in various videos. Seems like they were really having trouble figuring out what to do with Goku. And it is pretty obvious considering that Ultra Instinct has new variants. But where do we go from here?
On a hiatus, that's where we're going from here. Because there's nothing else to do. There's nothing else to talk about. He did all that perfecting and training and transforming just to get one shot by Frieza again. So it just needs to stop. I mean, at this point, it just needs to stop. It needs to go away. And and like I said, there's almost nothing to talk about in the community now because the movie sucked. Um, I'm not the only one that says it how bad it was. The manga was garbage. Uh, the whole granola arc, the gas arc, it just all sucked. It's like a -5 out of 10. So there's nothing to talk about because everything sucks. Everything they come up with, every creative concept they come up with has terrible execution. All of this is awful. Look at this. I mean, they did all that training, all that perfecting, just to get one shot. What kind of? I mean, there's nothing really nothing to pull for. There's nothing exciting about this stuff anymore. There's no reason to get excited because all this stuff is trash.
The end of the previous arc, Black Frieza shows up, new transformation at all, because that's Frieza's new form, and one-shots True Ultra Instinct Goku and Vegeta, lays them out. So obviously, based on what we've seen, the clues from Vegeta and Beerus...
Based on what we've seen, it sucks. And apparently they're probably going to have to unlock another form or something to catch back up, which is going to be completely boring and predictable.
The form of Ultra Ego that we have seen is not the true form. We all thought that when Goku fought Jiren in episode 109 and 110, and we first saw UI in the anime, that was going to be it. We didn't know at the time there was going to be another silver-haired form. And
there shouldn't be any more forms. I'm tired of seeing any kind of form. I'm just tired of it.
That, of course, begs the question. Is Ultra Ego Vegeta, the one that fought Granola, the true final form? And I would...
I hope Vegeta doesn't have silver hair. I hope it's not what he's insinuating, and he wind up with white hair. I hope not. If he winds up with white hair, I'm just completely just giving up on Dragon Ball. I'm giving up on everything. I'll stop doing content, all this other garbage, because it's just not. I'll start talking about something else. I won't even keep up with it anymore. I'm done after that. If they have Vegeta with silver hair, I'm done. Because they're trolling at this point.
I would wager to say it's probably not. Not even based on Topo, because you could obviously take that concept and bring it back for Vegeta. I'm not sure if that's really the case, because the difference between Vegeta and Topo, which I outlined in that video, is that Topo was actually training to become Universe 11's God of Destruction, whereas Vegeta just wants the power. But either way, based on the trajectory that Goku has come in the last few arcs, and the symbolic road that he has traveled on, I would not be surprised. In fact, I would be probably likely, this seems to be very likely, that we have not seen the end of Vegeta evolving and learning about how to properly use Ultra Ego.
And we're tired of seeing Vegeta evolving and learning new forms only to get one shot again. We're just tired of it. Even when in Granola arc, he went to the Yard Rats to learn new techniques to get beat again. He did all this training and all this hard work and all just to get beat over and over and over and over. Who's tired of seeing that by now? I'm sure everyone is. We're all tired of seeing it. I mean, there's no more hype. People should just give up on Vegeta. What's the point? You're having all this hope in Vegeta just for him to keep getting beat up. The hype train should be done by now. I wasn't even surprised when it came to this. He unlocked the new form, whoop-de-doo. I wasn't surprised. I created a video on my channel saying I don't see, he's just going to get beat again, so what's the point? Then the next chapter, he was one shot. Granola beat him like he stole something. He whooped the clothes off Vegeta. So I'm just really not seeing this. Not seeing this going anywhere.
If Vegeta's version of Ultra Instinct is going to be Ultra Ego from now on, then there's no question that Vegeta will have
two different forms. They have nothing to do with each other. God of Destruction, Ki, and Ultra Instinct are two totally different forms. They're nothing alike. They have nothing to do with each other. They're completely different.
To become stronger and become more accustomed to using that power, which as of right now he's not. It's still all new to him. Vegeta obviously cares enough to state himself that he does not want to disappoint Lord Beerus. And that tells me that training will continue until Vegeta finally discovers the true Ultra Ego. I think it's inevitable. Plus,
I hope it's not a new form. I just hope not. I really hope not. I'm tired of these true forms. Because he had true Golden Frieza, true Golden Frieza, Ultra Instinct, true Ultra Instinct, Master Ultra Instinct, perfected Master Ultra Mega Level Ultra Instinct. I'm just, when is this going to stop?
Don't forget, with Black Frieza, Frieza's new transformation showing up, and the fact that Dragon Ball Super has been constantly introducing new forms, not just with Ultra Instinct and Ultra Ego, but also Orange Piccolo, Gohan Beast, Black Frieza. It goes on and on and on. I would not in the least bit be surprised.
I don't want to watch the rest of it. I just don't. It's probably almost over anyway. So, I'm just not Secret of Orange Piccolo. Let's see what that one is. Yeah. Because it probably sucks.
I use Rocket Lawyer to make sure my business is on a solid foundation, because I'm a contractor, not a lawyer. That's why I trust Rocket Lawyer.
Let's do this.
In Dragon Ball Super Superhero, Piccolo has unlocked Orange Piccolo, and how well do you...
He didn't unlock it. He asked the magical dragon. He wished upon the magical dragon. He didn't train. He didn't do anything to unlock this form. It just happened, random. It was unearned. It was any of that. It was something Sharon gave him. You can go back and watch the movie. He gave him that form. He didn't unlock it. He didn't get angry or anything like that. Shenron just gave it to him. Out of nowhere, just out of thin air, just gave him a form. Now, the other one was different because the first one was different. He just had his potential unlocked, which I can understand that. He unlocked it. He had his potential unlocked in the way that Guru would do it, would have done it. Because if he had went to Guru, if Guru was still alive, he had went to Guru or Elder Kai or somebody, he had his potential unlocked in that way. So I can understand. Where Elder Kai is slightly different. That's where I thought they were going with that. It was slightly different. But Guru's, he had it unlocked as if Guru put his hand on his head. But this form was all made up. It was just something that Shenron pulled out of his butt. Okay, so there's no hype behind it. I'm not happy about it. I'm not excited about it because it's garbage. And just like I said, I'm sick of people getting handed transformations, unearned crap.
You really know Piccolo. I know I've covered...
We know Piccolo. Anyone that's watched Dragon Ball knows Piccolo by now. Who doesn't know him?
Him in the past, but there's a lot deeper stuff going on now.
Not really.
Not just with Orange Piccolo, but also earlier in the series. So today we're going to look at Piccolo's growth from Dragon Ball Z into superhero, and really dig deep about why he's Toriyama's favorite character, what makes him so great, and the secret roots of Orange Piccolo. And by the way,
anything in his life before this movie has nothing to do with him unlocking this form.
This will have spoilers for Dragon Ball Super Superhero. Let's get to it.
We've all seen this movie by now, so I mean, hey.
What next?
And again, nothing against Geekdom. I'm just talking about it's just content criticisms, okay?
Welcome to another edition of Dragon Ball X Saiyuki, where we look at the deeper roots of the characters that Toriyama has created from Journey to the West. And joining me once again, as always, is Jordan the Dragon Lee. And I want to remind you guys that this video will contain spoilers for Dragon Ball Super Superhero. So if you have not seen that film, we will be discussing that. Not all of this video, but we'll have some brief discussions on it during this topic. So we're talking all about Piccolo today, and we're going to be discussing the ideas and the concepts behind Toriyama's creation of this character. Now, I did do a video called The History of Piccolo, which I went into explicit detail about a lot of the ideas behind the yin and yang of Piccolo and, stuff like that. So make sure you check that video out because I go into a lot of that here. But what I didn't really go into too much is some of the Journey to the West ideals and how that ties into Dragon Ball Super Superhero. So, Jordan, you saw the History of Piccolo video. I covered a lot of the stuff in there. Is there any key point that you think I may have missed in that video that you want to discuss here today?
Yeah, so basically, I would like to point out why, in my opinion, Piccolo is Toriyama's favorite character, as he stated multiple times. And it's because he basically took part of the Monkey King story and created his own original character who sort of complements the original story, but makes it completely original and cool in a very creative and interesting way. So Piccolo, as we know, he comes from
Can we
Planet
skip to the
Namek.
other stuff?
Wukong in the actual story has a little man complex about considering that King Piccolo basically case any Kami made him.
Dende's a Namekian. Kami made the original Shenlong, and then Dende upgraded him, and we saw the upgrade in the film. And
I can't watch the whole thing. I'm sorry, because they're gonna pull up his whole history and all that stuff. I just don't feel like watching all of that. Okay.
Upgrade allowed him to. The upgrade allowed him to grant this wish where he gave him this secret. He unlocked a secret. Dende's a Namekian.
Let's go back a little bit forward.
Him injured after the fight with Frieza, and then looked down and went to go.
I had to skip all of that stuff. I can't sit there and watch the history of Piccolo. I already know his history. I don't want to bore anyone else with his history.
See him, and that's when the whole fusion thing happened, the Namekian merger. And I also loved how the movie, because of what you're saying, the dragon gave him a bonus, because there's a lot of reasons for this. Obviously, the dragon is of Namekian origin, because the balls were
Kami
from Namek.
made him.
Dende's a Namekian. Kami made the original Shenlong, and then Dende upgraded him, and we saw the upgrade in the film, and the upgrade allowed him to. The upgrade allowed him to grant this wish where he gave him this secret.
He poured tap water on the dragon and upgraded it, and he could have done that at any point in time, I guess.
He unlocked a secret Namekian power, which we now know as Orange Piccolo, and the symbol on Orange Piccolo's back is from the tree of Planet Namek. So this Orange Piccolo, this new form, is something that's deeply rooted in the past of the Namekian race that we didn't know about until now, because Toriyama didn't think of it. That's the real story. But
He didn't think of it was bad writing, and they just wanted to hand him a power up. Because Piccolo was so far behind all this time, they just gave him threw him a bone, which was some unearned power up, which was ridiculous, and there's nothing really to be excited about or hyped about. I'm really kind of irritated at this point because they keep giving out transformations. That's my honest opinion.
there was talk in the Namek arc of a super Namekian, and we always thought it was, the fusion of Piccolo and Kami, the son of Katatsu, nameless.
That's what it was.
Namekian. And perhaps it was, but
it was.
We thought the Super Namekian was born when Kami and Piccolo re-merged.
It was.
Looks like now Toriyama might be implying that Orange Piccolo is the form that the Super Namekian takes, because it is like a Super Saiyan
It
form.
is like his antenna.
No, it's not.
Stick up and everything, but it's very interesting that Piccolo goes through this.
It's unrelated
process. Like I noticed within the film,
the form looks awful. It still looks like a Dragon Ball Z Budokai game. It looks horrible. It looks a hot, terrible mess. And they should have never came up with this form. It is the worst that I've ever seen in Dragon Ball.
That the reason Piccolo is using the Dragon Balls to have his potential unlocked is because he's concerned with his ability to protect Pan and everyone else. He's not just doing it to become stronger. He's concerned because Gohan's slacking. Goku and Vegeta aren't there. So he's making the wish with pure intentions. Like, he's not just doing it, he's not like he was whenever he was King Piccolo and he's doing it so he could take over the world. He's doing it because he's genuinely concerned with protecting the Earth. And that's something that Kami actually talks about in the original Dragon Ball whenever he's talking to Goku. He actually straight up tells Goku that it wouldn't do any good for the people of Earth to think that God will just fix everything for them. And in the end, the Earthlings must learn to depend on their own powers and fight their way through. And that even the Dragon Balls make you prove yourself for one miracle.
Not just that, but in the film, we literally witnessed Piccolo telling Gohan.
Look at these graphics in the movie, guys. Look at this. I went and saw the movie. This is how it looked. Who would want to watch something like this in theaters? Only reason I watched it was to critique it, to give an honest review of it. I didn't watch it because I just wanted to. Ooh, I'm so excited! I want to go see it. This is how the movie looked, guys. This is how it looked. Any other movie looked better than this. Any other Dragon Ball movie. Just name one. They all look better than this.
You got to take this seriously because we're not always going to have Goku and Vegeta here to rescue everyone. And yes, Gohan is half human, but he is half human. He's still an Earth.
It doesn't mean anything because Tien trained all the time. Even Krillin trains more than Gohan. You have a lot of other. There are other humans there are humans that take martial arts serious and train all the time. So him being human has nothing to do with it. So because there are humans that train a lot, that are serious about martial arts. You got Shaolins, you got all kind of people. You got people that actually practice and study martial arts and make it their life work. So it's nothing. It's not really human. It has nothing to do with human. Because there are humans that live for battle.
Earthling. He was born and raised there from blood of his mother, who's Earthling. So I think it all kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
But he grew up training. His whole life he spent. But we get it that he wanted to be a scholar and he didn't have the desire to fight and all that kind of stuff. We get that part too. I don't know why they wrote him like that. They could have wrote him to be a balanced out character. I don't know why they just keep redoing his arcs over and over. It's dumb. This whole movie was just a perfect example of how dumb Gohan's character arc is. They keep bringing it back and back and back and back and back. He has to keep learning the same lessons. It's just stupid at this point. It's stupid. I don't know why we're doing this. I don't know why we're torturing ourselves. Keep watching this crap. We keep getting our hopes up for nothing. And people are just going to hype it up and hype it up and hype it up. Oh, there's another movie. It's exciting. It's doing great. And it's the same old bull crap.
Kami straight up tells Goku that the only reason he remakes the Dragon Balls is because of Goku. He tells Goku that as long as someone like him exists, that he thinks the Dragon Balls should exist. And Piccolo basically becomes the same type of person that Kami appreciates through his character development. And his
because of his son Gohan.
Character is basically coming full circle in the same way we've seen Krillin and other people in the past, through using the Dragon Balls to do
through Gohan
what he feels is right with pure intentions. Like he genuinely wants to protect and be there for the people of Earth now. And that's kind of where his character lies at this.
Because he absorbed Kame. But he wanted it before then. That's why he wanted to merge with Kame. He learned through Gohan. He got to change the heart by being around Gohan. Gohan changed him for the better. Now he wants to protect the Earth. And then when he merged with Kame, he wants to protect the Earth even more now. And then has a pure use for the Dragon Balls because he merged with the creator of the Dragon Balls. So he has Kame's knowledge and wisdom and personality along with his own. And Nail, who is close to Guru, who's real close to Guru, who also was a guardian of his own planet. So
point, like he has become the sole example of a warrior race Namekian who, would be respected amongst their tribe. Like he's come full circle. And in a sense, the Namekians, they're good. Like they're the good guys. You can say what you want.
They're pure.
Yeah, they're pure. So that, in a sense, that really goes to show you the character development that Piccolo went through.
Because he merged with Nail, that's what really helped a lot. And that's what helped him a whole lot.
Kami is a great example of the potential the Namekians have to be good at heart, but the fact that Piccolo himself reached that point within the story now.
You probably know Vistaprint for business cards, but did you know we also print that, and that, and that?
I don't care.
And he's
That's how the movie looked, by the way. That's how it looked. Still,
keeping up, like, according to Toriyama, he's reaching the levels of Goku and Vegeta. His character has really come full circle, and he's really been rewarded for ending up.
That was his reward in the movie, guys. No, I'm
up
just
the
playing.
way.
Just kidding. Yeah, that's what Vidal them really gave him for picking up Pan from school and all this other stuff. And this is how the movie looked. Again, I'm just showing my disappointment
That he has. I mean, of course, Toriyama said that Piccolo's his favorite character, so he just bumped him up because he loves him. But
he just bumped him up.
Way he
right. I mean, because his arc was already complete when he turned good and refused with Kami. This stuff in Superhero is just extra.
They could have found more creative ways of bumping him up, though. A wish from the dragon. Same thing Moro did. Same thing Granola did. Same thing everyone did. Same thing Gas did. Everyone's just using the Dragon Balls to get stronger. I said, why don't they just use Krillin? Why don't Krillin just get the Dragon Balls? Why don't Yamcha? Why don't they just use the Dragon Balls to make themselves powerful, more powerful? Turn themselves into Saiyans or something. I'm just saying, makes more sense to me.
I guess extra mayonnaise on the sandwich, extra sprinkles on the ice cream because he loves Piccolo so much. But it still is.
They could have found a better way to do it, though. I'm not feeling this.
Part of the Journey to the West ideology.
Yeah, I would say the main development that Piccolo goes through within the Dragon Ball superhero movie is basically pulling a Goku in the Cell Saga and having complete faith in Gohan's ability to take care of the job. Because if you remember, whenever he was facing Goku, or whenever he was facing Cell in the Cell Saga, Piccolo, he didn't think Gohan had it in him. Whereas in this film, it's entirely about him doing the same thing that Goku did whenever Gohan was fighting Cell and manipulating him into getting mad so he can take care of business. So in that sense, his confidence.
He took a dump and became stronger than Goku and Vegeta. Like I always said, this was not just another power up that they're handing down. Like I said, this is getting it's just a whole lot of nothing. There's nothing to talk about. There's nothing exciting about this community anymore. Oh no, there's nothing exciting. I don't see. I don't know. I'm even losing my luster to roast this stuff because it's the same old stuff over and over. There's no hype for the movie. They're trying to rehype it, rehash it, and they're just bringing back old characters that don't matter. It's just, I think it's run its course. I think Dragon Ball is running its course, guys. I think the community is done. I think everything's run its course.
For Gohan has matched Goku's at this point. Gohan is
not really,
is in a sense kind of like a representation.
That form is garbage
of his opinion on everyone on Earth as a whole.
He looks like something that Sonic the Hedgehog character or something.
If you really think about it, like he didn't start to
and himself.
Yeah,
he looks like Silver the Hedgehog.
He didn't really start to respect anyone until he got a relationship with Gohan, and now he's hanging out with Pan, and he's trying to lead her in the right direction. He's trying to make her a great warrior, a great person. Like he's taking the development of the next generation into his own hands. But yeah, Piccolo's an awesome character. I definitely think he deserves the title of Toriyama's favorite. He's underrated. I really hope to see more of Orange Piccolo in the future.
I hope to not see him ever again. I hope that they just trash this. I hope they come out and say, hey, you know what, we screwed up. This movie was just a gag. Okay, we're gonna redo and just turn everything around because we were just joshing you guys. We just put something out there to see how y'all react to it. We were just janking you. Okay, I hope that's what happens. I hope this Orange Piccolo I'm not looking forward to Orange Piccolo in the future. I'm not. I'm just not looking forward to it. I'm really not.
Future
And he's a hell of a warrior. He was duking it out with Cell Max at the end of that movie, holding his own
Cell Max sucked, so that doesn't say a lot.
for a while until Cell Max got the advantage. I mean, I hope we do see bright things from Piccolo because Universe 7
Not Orange Piccolo.
is stacked now with power. Not even just Gohan and Beast Gohan. Orange Piccolo is
lame is all get out. Orange Piccolo is the worst thing they came up with. It just brought the whole movie down.
And
Beast Gohan brought the whole movie down. Those transformations were the worst.
Orange Piccolo can also train and become stronger in that orange form. So there's still a lot.
I hope I never see it again. I hope they never bring it out again.
More to come. But thank you, Jordan, as always.
I hope it's not more to come. And I hope. Just really don't want to. I don't care for that transformation at all. Yeah, it's whack. Okay, it's whack. Everything about it is whack. And yeah, I think I'm gonna do another stream later on. I'll fire up another stream in a minute. That's it for this stream. I'm gonna upload it to my T Does Entertainment channel. I'm gonna do. I'm finna pull up another one in about. It's 4:58. Around 5:30. I pull up a death battle stream. I want to watch some of the death battles and give my commentary on it. Yeah. Catch y'all. See y'all back 30 minutes to an hour.